live stream. As you can tell, we're in the Jeep, and we're going over the latest model data. I'm going to flip around here in just 1 second and show you these things, and why we have picked the area up in Kansas and South Central Kansas and northern Oklahoma, along the Kansas and Oklahoma border. So I'm going to flip it around here real fast. This is the Storm Prediction Center's latest update. There'll be another one at 11 a.m. Central Time, or excuse me, I think it's around 11:30. Let me take a look here. Yeah, 16:30, so 11:30. And so anyway, here's why. It's not because of the pretty colors that are on there, but the tornado, they've introduced a 2% along the Kansas and Oklahoma border and stretching up all the way past, that's this area right here that we're talking about, all the way past Wichita, Kansas, up through Wichita, and then even to points north of that. And so let me get back over here to the model data. And this is basically what the weather is showing right now according to models. And this is going to be around the 6 to 7 p.m. time frame. Actually, storms start to develop around that time at about 6 p.m. And then 7, they really start to kind of mature. Let me get that back up there where you can see them. And it's kind of like a line segment. But if you notice, there's a little bit of separation between these. And so if one of these can take and kind of get some breathing room between it, then the opportunity for them to take and produce definitely some large hail would be very conducive of those things, and probably some pretty severe wind gusts. If they become rooted and lower based than what the models are showing, then obviously there's going to be a brief chance for a tornado if it happens, but not all storms produce. And so there's going to be some things that are going to be limiting to this, and we're going to take a look at that right now. So dew point temperatures for that area, they're not terrible, but they're not good either. And so if you were going to see a higher end severe probability, these dew points that are down here in the 68s would need to be up into this region, because that's fuel for these storms to get going. Also, one of the reasons I think that the storms are actually going to show and develop here is because of how this dry line is kind of draped down through this area right in here. And so the low pressure center is going to be somewhere in this region. And we can see that if we come over and we look at the wind barbs and the dew points. This is South Central Kansas, and you can kind of see here the way that the wind barbs are facing. They're kind of going all kinds of different directions, and so that tells us that low is centered here. So along that edge, that's going to give it a little bit of extra boost, and it's not anything like really super strong, but there's going to be enough forcing, I believe, for storms to develop here. And again, if they can become rooted into that system and dig in a little bit better, I mean, the potential, and we're going to look at something else here in just 1 second, the potential for large hail is really good. And so one of the things that we look at whenever we're checking out the hail cores is what they call the lapse rates. And so if you look over Kansas, in that vicinity, 8.3, 8.4 Celsius is really good for large hail. And so that area is going to be one that is going to be of concern. So like I said, large hail and damaging wind gust is the primary threat, but a brief tornado also at 2% cannot be ruled out. So convective energy, or CAPE, is higher in that region. This is mixed layer, so we've got joules per kilogram, in the anywhere from 1,000 all the way up, basically along the I-35 corridor up into the 2,000s. And so that's enough energy for these things to kind of get going. The most unstable cape is going to be in that same region. And so another reason that's kind of where we've based our target for this afternoon. And so we will be going live later on. And one other thing that we need to look at is the bulk shear. So it's kind of concentrated along that line where we've seen those composite reflectivity symbols basically stating where they think that the storms are going to form. And so along that line, I mean, we get some 33 knots, 45 knots, there's 23, 28, 26. So basically all along that line. And so you've got kind of southwesterly flow down at the bottom, somewhat backed line here with westerly winds, and then some southwesterly input as well. And so there is rotation in the atmosphere. It's just not really a lot. And so to make these really robust, supercells. Now that's down low from the surface to probably about, I'd say maybe a couple thousand feet above the ground. Then we go a little bit higher up in the surface, or from the surface, and we see that we have northwesterly winds here on the backside where the dry line is. Westerly winds at about 45 knots, 33, 34 there. There's 22. That's more than that. Let's see, there's 45. Up here right at the leading edge of it, you've got 53 knots. So there's more than enough stuff to happen there. And also, let's look at the spin in the atmosphere. What, excuse me, where is the spin concentrated? And so it is, again, in this area. If we take and we pull up one of the soundings from where the reflectivity is showing, it's going to give us probably a pretty decent outlook. So we have a nice curved hodograph. We have a marginal tour. Dew points are at 59 with the temperatures at 76. And they're going to be low precipitable water, or how much is rain is going to be falling. Looks like it's relatively low at 1.08 inches. And so low precip, probably going to see, if they can get rooted, see some wall clouds today. And so that's why we're headed up that direction. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and cut the live stream short right now. So y'all tune into the channel later on this afternoon and be watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you haven't shared the channel, please do so to help it grow, as well as hit that like button. And so appreciate every one of y'all, and we'll see y'all later. Take care, and we'll see you this evening.